You and me again. Correct, Anna.
Yeah, we will be casting again on Wednesday. Gillyweed, I'm not sure if she's announced what she's doing, but she's continuing her world tour of heroes, and she'll be doing some other stuff that Wednesday.
We are so excited for Gillyweed in her adventures. She was amazing over the weekend, and I can't wait for you guys to see what she's got coming out later this week.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. We like her around here.
Yeah, we do.
Yep, but today it is casting from the Redheads. The Redhead team has this on lock, and we're now going to see Tuark versus Team Blaze. Now, Tuark, of course, the more pro team, quote unquote, if you will, because they are an official signed professional team. But Team Blaze has shown their ability to match up against those pro teams, even though they're the quote unquote unsigned one in this matchup.
Well, everybody starts somewhere, you know. No one was born into this world signed, so.
Oh, let me grab you that draft link.
I got it.
Okay,
Furious
great.
D got it to me. Thanks, buddy.
Furious D on it, helping those casters out as they need it. Thank you, buddy.
He's a good guy. Thank you.
Sure is. Yeah, all the teams want to give a huge thank you to them. They, of course, make this tournament possible. We could not do it without them, so it is a symbiotic relationship. We appreciate it, just like an ABBA hat.
Just like an ABBA hat, absolutely. They do just as much work sometimes as we do, so I appreciate them. The ones tonight were very well behaved. Thank you.
They were indeed. It looks like the teams are still readying up, but guys, this is a great time. Again, I love to remind you to take a moment to support Heroes Hype however you see fit, whether that's following them on Twitter, visiting their website, heroeshype.com, clicking that follow button or that subscribe button here on Twitch. That'll help support them and keep them being able to do what they do, which is provide you either a place to compete or a place to watch heroes week after week. I've really enjoyed watching them grow and think it's awesome what they're doing. I hope you do too.
All right, let's go into the draw. I hit the wrong button. Okay, there we go. Now let's go into the draft. There we go. And while we're getting these first bans, of course, don't forget our awesome sponsor, Follow Esports. We don't really like Iron that much. That FE is for Follow Esports. Give their link a click. It's down in the bottom of our information.
It is such a useful tool as someone who follows a lot of esports to be able to check out Follow Esports and find out what's going on at any given moment in all of esports. So I highly recommend checking them out. If not just because they sponsor Heroes Hype, because they also have a great product.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the first ban is going to go to Team Blaze, and they're going to ban out Kael'thas. No flame strikes for Blaze, it looks like.
Muy interesante, because this may be kind of what we saw before, where Team Blaze is forcing Tuark to now decide, okay, do we ban Zeratul then so they can have it, or do we go with our original plan? Yeah, they are going to go ahead and ban Zeratul. Team Blaze is not going to be able to pick him up, but that does give them that first pick. I would not be surprised to see Jaina's face here, Kai.
I would not be surprised at all. This being Sky Temple, one of the larger maps with a lot of... Oh, look, there she is. A lot of laning, a lot of the mechanic rather than being a creature is just a zappy laser push. I would expect to see a Zagara from one of these teams.
I would not be surprised to see that at all. She is great for vision. She can use that creep spread to not only see what's going on the map, but also to help her get around very quickly on this large battleground, like you mentioned. And she also can kind of stay at the fray of a battle and throw her little Zerg swarm minions into the mix. The Banelings, the Mutalisks, they can all go in and do things for her that can be quite helpful. So a multi-use hero that is particularly well suited to this map, I would not be surprised to see her as well.
Definitely. All right, so Tuark is going to start out with their tank. They want to start the bones, the framework of their group, and they have Johanna, one of the strongest tanks right now, so no qualms about that pick, nothing strange there.
Johanna can do so much in terms of not only controlling an engagement, but also outlasting an engagement. She can stay alive for so long due to her iron skin trait that can make her unstoppable for a moment and help her escape from an engagement. And seeing as we see Tyrande as the next pick from Tuark, I think that we are probably going to see them really focusing on that lockdown. Now that said, Team Blaze goes ahead and picks up Uther, which I know that Tuark would have loved because he has lots of stun ability as well. So Team Blaze looking to kind of mitigate what they see coming out from Tuark already.
Yeah, when you see Tyrande in this meta shown, you know there's going to be some kind of roaming or some kind of melee engage following up. Uther is the preferred healer in that combination, so to see him picked, I would guess Tuark would follow with Rhaegar since he is the second best.
Right, and we do see the Muradin come down from Team Blaze in response to the Johanna. Not a surprise, as we do very often see those two being the warriors of choice for tanking. Tastar is going to be banned from 2-Arc, which means they're looking to take advantage of the fact that they have the Sentinel from Tyrande that's going to provide them a lot of vision already, and they're trying to make sure that Team Blaze has less. So Team Blaze now does not have Tastar. I wouldn't be surprised to see that Zagara being something they prioritize for that reason. But before then, they do have a ban. So what do you think they're going to try to make sure 2-Arc does not have?
If it were me, I would ban Rehgar, since Malfurion, while a great healer and one of the 3 strongest, is the least capable in the roaming composition that we've theorized 2-Arc is building. So I would try to deny them that and put them into a position of weakness. But they've actually gone and banned Zagara. Interesting choice, since I don't know if she'd be high priority for 2-Arc. I think Team Blaze actually might have done better with her.
Yeah, but maybe they were trying to prevent the counterpick, because if 2-Arc did manage to grab the Zagara, then they would have banned out Tastar, have Tyrande, and have Zagara, which are probably the 3 most notable vision heroes that you can possibly have. So that would have been the monopoly on vision for 2-Arc. And they did go ahead and grab Nazeebo. So
I don't know what 2-Arc is doing anymore.
They are comfortable with having that specialist that can kind of contribute from the fray. Nazeebo can do a lot of similar things to Zagara. And then they're going to follow up with Vala, which actually I was thinking that Team Blaze, it would behoove them to ban out someone like Vala to kind of lessen the damage pool for 2-Arc, because that's what they didn't have.
The easy picks. Yeah, I don't maybe understand the Tyrande pick with Nazeebo and Vala. Their last pick is going to is what we need to see to understand their team, because right now I don't understand their team.
That's a good point. I mean, I did see them angling for that vision monopoly.
All right, speaking of things I don't understand. Once again, we need to see their last pick, or this makes absolutely no sense.
So Abathur, if you're unfamiliar, is a hero that we typically see hide somewhere on the map, and then he does things like buffing other heroes or pushing lanes from way back there. He's not someone that you see out in the team fight. He only has a measly little wormy slap to his name in terms of being there in person. So we are going to see 4-person engagements from Team Blaze until at least Abathur may have that ultimate evolution, or the ability to clone one of them in battle. That's his heroic ability. And then we're going to see the character.
Okay, so now it makes a little more sense. Abathur is probably going to prioritize the symbiote build, the hat build, and spend much of the game on top of Kerrigan's head, buffing her attack speed, giving her shields, and spiking enemies off of Kerrigan's head.
Right, and when we kind of originally saw this 2-Arc build, we thought, oh, we're going to see so much lockdown from them. But as we look at Team Blaze now, they are the lockdown champions. Kerrigan, of course, with her primal grasp into impaling blades combo, can really do a lot to put somebody in a place, and then Muradin and Uther can follow up, really locking them down as well, and Jaina can help with bursting them down with damage. So this, if they're all roaming together, especially with that symbiote, that Abba hat, they can really just delete heroes off the map.
Absolutely. And okay, so we have the final pick from 2-Arc. It's going to be Malfurion. So much of their damage here is riding on just Vala, usually the wingman, and here she's almost at the front.
Yeah, she's the star of the show. I wonder, Kai, because we mentioned how Rehgar would be a really good pick there for 2-Arc. I wonder if the Malfurion route is something they were really looking for, because they didn't get as much lockdown as they wanted out of this drop.
Yeah, if they have a good player on Malfurion who's good with dropping the roots, they can definitely provide a lot of short-term soft CC. And while Team Blaze could counter with cleanse, Uther, of course, can definitely cleanse. I guess I'm worried about their damage output with Vala, Nazeebo, Tyrande, but it could be amazing. It could be.
When I see a lack of damage output, what I then begin to look at is, okay, what battleground are we on, and what can this team accomplish on this battleground without having to have a really good engage? And looking at these, I mean, I guess Johanna can really hold a temple by herself. Tyrande can really help in terms of vision, making sure that they don't have to run into anyone if they don't want to. but they definitely are not going to be the ones who have a lot of advantage in terms of skirmishes over temple. So it's really kind of the let's be where the other team isn't kind of composition, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Nazebo and Vala, of course, have a lot of zoning potential. Vala with multi-shot, especially if she goes multi-shot build, or even the Q build with puncturing arrow, because there are, of course, no minions on top of the shrines to soak up those Q bounces. We also have Nazebo with his zombie wall and frogs. I could see possibilities for zoning there to, again, like hold temples, to prioritize the temples.
Yeah, Tuark always giving us really surprising compositions, and I love them dearly for it. So let's introduce them to you. They're going to be wearing blue in this game. We're going to have Furious D on Tyrande, Quibsy on Vala, Chubsy on Malfurion, Traitor playing Nazebo, and Panucci on Johanna.
Panucci, he's really nice. Okay, and on the red side, we are going to have Team Blaze. I think I haven't flipped on the UI, but that's okay. Rafflecopter on Jaina. We have Danube on Uther. We have Claudius on Muradin. Then we have, oh, you're moving way too fast for me to keep up with you. Stop! All right, Salm on Kerrigan, and rounding us off is going to be Jason. That's a lot easier, playing Abathur.
And we do already see that 4-hero gank squad, and oh my gosh, the Sentinel goes right between them. They are going to break formation. They're going to go right into that mid lane. They are going to break apart. We see actually Jason on Abathur moving very far forward into this lane.
Yeah, that's the thing with Abathur. Sometimes aggression early game or even late game is very helpful because you can get your locus farther forward. If you don't fear who is in the lane with you, or during a temple phase, if you know the whole enemy team is going to be in the top lane, you can move very far forward in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it looked like Jason doesn't think Nazebo is much of a threat right now, as working pretty hard to push back that lane, which is already very well pushed in Team Blaze's favor.
I don't know how the audience is going to feel about me constantly looking at Abathur. Okay, and there goes Malfurion in this team fight, though we did catch that one.
Yeah, that is going to be first blood actually going to Team Blaze. They're going to take Malfurion out, but he will only be missing for just a few seconds as we are so early in the game. We're now going to start the first temple phase. That's going to be the top and the middle temples. A lot of times we see teams just agree to trade on those temples, but it looks like Team Blaze is wanting to be much more aggressive than that. They're trying to get a pick on Tuark.
Yeah, definitely a big, well, not a big fight, but a big early fight happening here in the middle lane. Effectively, Blaze dodged much of Furious D's abilities from Tyrande. He tried to drop an owl, he tried to drop a stun, and all of them were dodged, so it really messed up the engage from Tuark.
Traitor, very far forward, actually was running around down in that bottom temple and ended up very close to the side of Team Blaze, was able to just be ganked with very, very little trouble. In the meantime, Tuark did take some shots off that middle temple, but Psalm is coming to contest right now. She's going to be using that Primal Grasp to its full effect. The stun will go down in the follow-up on Chubsy. Will be too much for him to take. Malfurion will be taken down again. That means no healing left for Tuark, except for that of Tyrande, which is not much.
All right, we had a lot of damage taken on Claudius. He is backing out. A lot of damage also on Rafflecopter. She is going to go down. Claudius goes back in, maybe unwisely. He's getting very low. Panucci going in for the kill, but no, he escapes with that dwarf toss.
Yeah, interesting. We saw that zombie wall really be the determining factor in being able to take down Jaina, and it looks like Tuark will hold this temple. They're well positioned to also take the top one if they felt so inclined, but I think they're trying to make sure that they don't put themselves in a bad position to be ganked by that gank squad that they know could be coming from Team Blaze.
Jason just has no fear down here.
He's so freaking cute, too. In this little pajamas. He's going to burrow away, though, and it looks like we will have a skirmish over this top temple. We do see the blizzard coming down from Jaina doing lots of damage. Vala will fall. Panucci is also in danger, getting very low, and again will fall as well. Sam has to back off because she has gotten quite low as Kerrigan, and she doesn't have a lot of escape ability once she gets too deep. So unlike me, she chooses not to dive and instead stay alive.
Well, she did her damage, though, taking down 2 members of Tuark and securing the temple, so well done on her end. Her job well done. She can now go home and rest a little bit.
Just a little. We do see that there has been a bit of damage done to the bottom lane here. Now Trader finally pushing forward from that gutsy Abathur, and looks like the zombie wall will go down around Jason, but not manage to completely take out that squishy little worm.
Kerrigan and Jaina took down Malfurion in the middle lane, but then pushed back by KiyeBerries and Panucci on Johanna and Vala. The addition of Murd and Claudius here might tip the scales in favor of Team Blaze. Yes, it looks like it. They're going to take down Vala.
So far we do have 7 takedowns on behalf of Team
Ooh,
Blaze.
Uh-oh, Rafflecopter. Ho. That escape was real.
Yeah, now Psalm and Claudius are going to go for these Siege Giants. They've created a little bit of room for themselves. They're not too worried about leaving D-Noob up there in the lane by himself. They are a little bit ahead of inexperience, but not too much, considering how many more takedowns they have than their opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. The damage and engages have been fast and furious here.
Yeah, Furious D, you might say.
Oh, well
to our player,
done.
Who's now down here, going in the bottom lane, looking to try and help Panucci, who is trying to dispense of these Siege Giants.
Get out of there,
also
Jason.
Also doing some Abathur hunting, yeah.
Yeah.
But we are seeing teams really just kind of fight over real estate. The reason being is that they want to have the best advantage of grabbing this bottom temple, which is going to be the one that spawns next. So Tuark really prioritizing making sure that they have a heavy push going on in this bottom lane, because that will put them in position to maybe take the temple, as well as if they do manage to take the temple, it will clear the way for it to do more damage.
Absolutely. You'd rather have the temple zapping on enemy forts than on enemy towers. Much more value for you.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, it looks like they're going to try to deal with Claudius, who is up here wailing on poor little Jester Trader. They're not going to be able to do much to him, though, as Psalm is actually going to catch Furious D out, and Furious D on Tyrande will fall, and that is right when the temple spawns, which is not the time that you want to be one hero down.
No, absolutely not. Especially somebody so important to their team as Tyrande, who controls a lot of their engage with her stuns and vision.
Right, and in the meantime, we see that Team Blaze has grabbed their level 10 heroic talents, and that means that Tuark is probably going to be very reticent to engage with them during this temple phase, which in turn means that the temple is going to do a lot of structural damage and continue to gain levels for Team Blaze.
All right, and now 10 also going to Tuark. Let's take a look at some of those heroic abilities. Uther, of course, Divine Shield. Ultimate Evolution for Abathur, an interesting choice since he's going to be spending so much of his time on top of somebody's head to take the heroic ability that takes him off of their head. But then Water Elemental, Avatar, and Maelstrom finish us off for Team Blaze. What do we have on the side of Tuark?
Looks like we just lost Abathur. Did you see who managed to take him down?
No, I was looking at the top lane.
Poor little worm does get decimated. Now we have Claudius trying to take down KiyeBerries. KiyeBerries is going to get Primal Grasp and impaled to his doom. Now we see Chubsy trying to flee with that Tranquility, but the Maelstrom AoE damage is going to do a lot to him. He will be taken down as well. And it looks like Tuark is in trouble with 2 members of their team down.
It's just so interesting to see Team Blaze doing so well with the team comp that initially we really thought Tuark was actually going to take.
Yeah.
And then Tuark going completely in an eastward direction that we did not expect.
They certainly have some advantages that they have been capitalizing on. They have a great kind of sustain that they've been using, but some of these unfortunate picks are really hurting them in terms of the overall rhythm of this game. The times when they want to be alive and the places they want to be, they haven't managed to be there quite yet. So I think we need to see Tuark kind of take a deep breath, make sure that they are coordinated with this creative strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Use, much like on that one temple fight where we saw a really great zombie wall from Nazebo, they need to use the tools that they have more effectively and at the proper times.
Yeah, we're going to see Psalm and D-Noob trying to deal with the bruisers that are going to be pushing here in the top lane, and we do see that the Siege Giants are the target for Tuark. They do find Claudius there. They're going to try to take him down, but in the meantime, Rafflecopter is going to bring that Blizzard. That's going to make it a lot more difficult for them to do much. KiyeBerries and Trader, though, joining the fight. Claudius is in danger. Managed to grab those Siege Giants, and they're going to disengage, which I think is a wise choice. We mentioned that this is the team that kind of wants to be where the others aren't, but Psalm wants to be where they are. The Impaling Blades will miss, unfortunately, for Psalm, and instead Panucci's going to turn around and try to grab Jason, who is very, very low, will go down.
KiyeBerries barely escapes there using his ultimate ability to maybe create some breathing room and does make it out on the bottom. But now he's back after tapping the well. Looks like Tuark is fairly healthy, and they're going to push into this bottom lane.
They did get one takedown, but unfortunately it was on the Ultimate Evolution Jaina, so it's not going to be quite the advantage they were hoping for, but they are going to give themselves enough room to do lots of damage to this fort. They're not willing to commit wholeheartedly, though, as they know Psalm is lurking in the shadows and is going to be able to pull them in. Furious D
there it
getting
happens.
Healed. Oh,
down goes to Ronda, and it looks like Panucci is very close. No, they actually do manage to take out Kerrigan as well.
That's going to be a huge turn for them, as without Psalm, they are going to have a lot less damage they're able to do. Looks like we're going to see a retreat from Team Blaze, which is going to give Tuark the opportunity to finish off this fort that they started. That must be a great feeling, because as you can see, they've almost caught up now in level experience.
In the top lane, don't forget Abathur is lurking. He's actually taking Vision Ward now, and he's also pushed through these towers in the top lane.
What a gutsy bug we've seen Abathur be so far.
Absolutely.
The bottom temple is now shooting at the fort here in the mid lane for Team Blaze. That one will be taken down as well, and that means we now see even levels for the first time in a little while for these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And right after level 13, a very crucial time in terms of talents.
Yeah, level 16, of course, a big deal, and it looks like Tuark is angling to be able to hit that level 16 at the same time as Team Blaze, which is going to be vital for them in team engagements, but if they continue to lose heroes like they just lost Nazebo, it's not going to matter too much. One little Witch Doctor cannot do much against the ice and the exoskeleton of these two damagey ladies.
No, and he did catch Kerrigan in a very nice zombie wall as well, but with no follow-up for it. She just got to hang out in there, it looks like.
Yeah, Tuark's going to grab these siege giants. They want to keep as much pressure as they can going on this battleground. The Sentinel will see Rafflecopter, so the vision from Tuark again being prioritized and being used. They're going to know that the mid lane has these two dangerous but squishy ladies in it, and they're going to poke around to see if they can either scare them away or grab one of them.
Absolutely. And speaking of poking, here we have a mass of Team Blaze getting together in the mid-bottom. It looked like they might have been going for boss, but now they're just clearing out their giants. This is still a good time. They're still up in experience. They've actually gained 16 now. This is the perfect time for them to engage. Oh my goodness, there we go.
Yeah, this would be a great window for them to do that. About half a level left before Tuark meets them at that level 16, so they know they have a little bit of an advantage in terms of an engagement. They aren't going to go ahead and push yet, though. It looks like they're looking for just the right place to do that. And we see that Dinu, I thought he was heading for that death bridge. I don't know why they would look to engage there. They're giving Tuark all the time they need to kind of catch up and experience.
Yeah, playing Ring Around the Rosie here with Panucci and Johanna, chasing her all the way around the giants and back around. They did make the kill, but wasted a lot of time in doing so.
They did manage to find a time to engage when they had a hero at a disadvantage. Looks like maybe they're trying not to engage on Tuark when they're able to be grouped up, which of course is always favorable, but I'm surprised to see Team Blaze being afraid of that, as we see that their composition is geared toward just this kind of death ball. I wonder if they're really cognizant of the fact that they do have only 4 bodies, as Abathur is kind of in lane doing his own thing.
Right, absolutely. And he's been very aggressive with his pushing, so he might not be spending as much time hatting Kerrigan and Jaina as we originally would have thought him to do.
We do have a temple activating. It's going to be just the middle one, so that's where all the focus is going to be in this game. The teams, as we mentioned, are on the same talent tier, but Tuark again trailing in about 1 level of experience.
All right, so let's take a look at this middle temple. It has not quite activated yet. 5 seconds to go. Tuark has themselves dug in very well here. 5 heroes already amassed and ready to go. They're in a very good position as opposed to Team Blaze, who would have to come in and contest and probably wipe them in order to take it.
Yeah, we have Bruisers battling it out on the top. That's going to keep both teams safe. But we have the engagement going down in the middle. We do see that we have Nazebo and Tyrande already down, as well as Uther. Kerrigan managing to survive a very long time with that low health bar, but does finally succumb, and she will go down. Not before she's taken down Vala to join them. Only Malfurion and Johanna remain for Tuark, and Johanna using that Iron Skin trait to get out of the way. Will she be able to get far enough? She's running in that zigzag pattern. No, she will fall as well. Only Malfurion left, and he's going to retreat and just do some defense. That's about all he can do.
Yeah, that was a really tough pick for them to chase down Johanna using all of her survival abilities. It took 2.5 people, 2 people, and a Abathur clone to actually finally chase her down, but they did secure the kill, and now they've secured the temple.
Yeah, and that temple, as we mentioned, it does damage to structures, and structures yield quite a bit of experience. So now Team Blaze is looking to get that level 20 before their opponent's 2-arc.
Level 20 over 2-arc with this much of a lead, full level and a half, would be a great time for Team Blaze to engage. They did not engage the last time they had the obvious talent advantage, so perhaps we'll see them do that if they achieve the level 20 first.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see how well 2-arc has done in terms of when they do have to engage. They've done a pretty good job of either sustaining through or disengaging from those types of situations, and we do see them again grabbing those siege giants and then backing off. They're trying to use all the advantages that exist on this battleground that are not predicated on just going and engaging face to face with their enemies. They have done a really good job of vision, and now it looks like they're hoping for a push here in the mid lane.
Yeah, we have both teams massing in the middle. Not much damage yet, though. A lot of poking. We had Murden caught in the roots, Johanna caught in the primal grasp. A lot of tit for tat here. We have Team Blaze kind of backing off. They're on the run now. It seems they do not want to make the engagement face to face.
Looks like 2-arc is going to fall down and try to take this boss. This is very, very risky as they know that Team Blaze is nearby. This is the throw boss if there is one. I have seen this one determine the game multiple times, and we see Team Blaze really just hovering around like sharks, but not all members are there. 2-arc is going to manage to capture it right before Team Blaze arrives to contest. We have to imagine they didn't know it was there. The Maelstrom goes down, damage is being done. Looks like Vala will be the first to fall, and we do see now Chubsy using that Tranquility, but it's not on top of anybody. It's only to keep him alive, and yet not for long. Only Nazebo and Johanna are left, and they are being hotly pursued. Doesn't look like Nazebo is going to be able to survive. He tries to lead them away from his friend Johanna, who is, she's going to condemn to bring Psalm closer to her, which was a bad decision. The Impaling Blades delete her from the board, and now there are 25 seconds before anyone from 2-arc is going to be alive, and though they did manage to grab the boss, they put themselves in a precarious position. Was the boss worth?
Probably not. They lost a team fight 5-1, and then Uther, I believe, had his respawn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's up again.
Yeah, he looks a little strange on the UI, but he did res again. And the boss, of course, has not actually gone through a outer fort yet, and inner keep, and he actually dies before getting any work done. So now there are 2 sets of lasers shooting in at 2-arc.
Yeah, we actually saw Jason, the Abathur, putting that symbiote on that keep, and it's barely damaged at all. Now 2-arc has to come respond to these temples, and they have to work together in order to do so. They're going to focus their attention on the mid temple, but not before they've actually had 2 keeps taken down. They only have 1 keep left here in the top lane.
Yeah, so now, of course, don't forget we're going to have those catapults, those Winions, spotting in the middle and the bottom.
Yeah, 2-arc is now coming up on level 20, so once we hit that, they're no longer going to have to deal with talent tier advantages. However, we do still see that experience-wise and scaling-wise, Team Blaze does have the advantage. They're already almost to their level 22.
Absolutely, and they've actually just abandoned this middle shrine. It still has shots left in it, but it seems like they're going to just go make the engage and push with their bodies instead. Claudius getting very low, though. He does escape, though, jumps out following Kerrigan, who has her Maelstrom up. Nazebo also going to go down. It looks like Claudius now is perfectly fine. Johanna is on the chase for Jaina, but she is going to escape thanks to Claudius coming in and intervening for her with that dwarf toss.
Yeah, I thought that we may see a vice close there on Claudius, but some stuns and roots and other things happened to make sure that he was able to kind of disengage from the little surround that 2-arc had managed to do. They don't have too many members alive right now. We again have Tyrande down and Nazebo down, so they can't hard engage the way they maybe would like to at this point. They're just going to have to fall back and try to defend their base. They know that these bruisers are really dangerous as their one surviving keep is right there. But Team Blaze is going to replace them with even more bruisers. They're going to steal the one on the side of the map of 2-arc, and 2-arc is kind of forced to just be here to mitigate the damage.
Unfortunately, mitigating isn't going to work as Malfurion is pulled into the primal grasp and the ice and goes down very quickly. Johanna popping her unbreakable skin to not die, but she is on the retreat as well.
Yeah, she's going to fall here. Oh, she's going to go unstoppable with the stun. We'll keep her from moving anywhere. Trader and Furious D and Quibsy now trying to fire everything they have to keep this keep alive, but it will not stay so for long. Team Blaze going to be happy to grab that and retreat. They don't want to allow any picks to happen. They don't want to lose any of their lead. The zombie wall will grab Claudius, but again, the follow-up is missing. He's going to be able to escape. They're going to take all of their members of Team Blaze and go grab other advantages on the map that don't put them at risk. In the meantime, they know that they're going to have these catapults that 2ARC is going to have to deal with already on the core.
Yeah, not just catapults. Now with the core fully exposed, any temples taken by Team Blaze will be shooting directly onto the core of 2ARC, a very dangerous situation for 2ARC to be in.
It is indeed. We see Team Blaze moving toward the bottom. We're going to see them take these siege giants. That's going to be just more pressure with this next wave that they're going to have to deal with. And now the temples do spawn. There's one in the mid and one in the top. Team Blaze not in a hurry to get there. They're going to focus on these giants first. They have about 15 seconds now until both of these temples will spawn. 2ARC, very hopeful, looking to maybe grab this mid temple, but looking very reticent as well.
It makes sense on the side of Team Blaze. They know the fight is going to be focused in the middle lane or the top lane. Getting all of the bottom giants either forces 2ARC to abandon the temples or provides additional push while everyone's attention is elsewhere.
Starfall goes down. We see it doing lots and lots of damage. Furious D will fall. Chubsy with that tranquility was trying to get away. He's going to get some heals on himself, but ultimately will fall as well. We do see the Divine Shield on Kerrigan, which is so devastating. She can stay so healthy and manages to take down the Zebo. Now see that Ultimate Evolution Kerrigan also doing lots of damage. Jason is in hot pursuit of Panucci. They're going to meet the siege giants there. Panucci going to try to deal with those really quickly while also putting her life at risk. Quibsy again running away from the damage, but the core is completely exposed and the temples are shooting at it.
I think we had everything here. We had Ultimate Evolution, we have siege minions, we have temples zapping, we have the actual players attacking. No more things could hit this core than we're already hitting it, and so it does die.
We actually had the Abathur in base as well. I don't know if you noticed that, but his little ragdoll physics, he just wanted to be there to see the end before he died his little worm death.
Well, very well done on the side of Team Blaze. They drafted that perfectly and executed that the way it needed to be done. 2ARC tried something a little bit different, and they had the correct, I think, team fight, because they did have a couple instances where they engaged and made picks correctly, but not enough.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, we see so much siege damage coming out of Nazebo. Nazebo's kind of having a little bit of a resurgence right now. We see him being picked and tried in a lot of compositions, so really pulling his weight for 2ARC there, but like you said, not quite being able to engage on the level that it looked like 2ARC needed. And I think You're right, the composition from Team Blaze was just very well thought out and then very well executed with that Abathur.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the Abathur Jason there, he was a very brave Abathur player, putting his Locust very far forward on the siege. So well done by him as well.
Yeah, and great games from all of our teams tonight. That is going to be the last round we're going to cast today. Again, we'll finish that up with the semifinals and the finals of the Heroes Hype Challenger Series for this week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. And it will again be KiyeBerries and I bringing you that action. In the meantime, Kai, where can people find you?
You can always find me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere at KiyeBerries. Everywhere KiyeBerries are sold, including your local supermarket. You can see me tomorrow on the TGN Squadron channel with Gillyweed. I think she'll be there. Let's cross our fingers. Doing our weekly show, Fight with the Femmes. You'll also, of course, as Anna said, see me here on Wednesday for the next leg of the Challenger Series.
Awesome. And you can find me at all the places that Kai mentioned at Anna Prosser. Twitter is the best place to stay in touch with me because I stream every day, but it's on all sorts of different channels. I'm here Monday and Wednesday. I'm on Misclicks Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm on my own channel anywhere I can find the time, which actually I will be tonight. I'm going to be streaming directly after this, playing some Heroes of the Storm on my own channel, twitch.tv/Anna Prosser. So hopefully you'll come hang out with me there for a little while before I have to go eat my own dinner. And also don't forget that if you haven't already, you really, really should click that purple button that says follow down there for Heroes Hype, so you can be notified when they go live and know how to best support them for bringing you awesome tournaments like this.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we will see you on Wednesday. Until then, have some great games of your own in Heroes of the Storm. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.